At CES 2020, Nuu Mobile showed off some really exciting budget phones that they plan on releasing this year. So in this video, we're going to be talking about that. What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, and I was fortunate enough to attend CES 2020 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, I apologize for this video being a little bit late. I actually did record the entire video on the balcony at my Airbnb in Las Vegas, but unfortunately, the audio quality was so bad that I couldn't put the video out without feeling bad about it. So I am, of course, back home, and I'll throw in some video clips of the actual phones themselves because I did get some time with the X6 and V1 at Nuu Mobile's booth. So if you haven't heard of Nuu Mobile, they're a smaller company specializing in budget smartphones that are factory unlocked. So a while ago, I did review two of their devices here on the channel, including the Nuu Mobile G3 Plus and Nuu Mobile R1. Now, those were good budget phones, and unfortunately, the company didn't do a whole lot in 2019. But since then, they've moved their headquarters from Miami, Florida to Dallas, Texas, and it looks like they're ready to do some amazing things here in 2020. So I'm certainly looking forward to that. Now, before I show you these phones, let's be clear. These devices are extremely budget. I'm pretty sure they're going to be under 150 bucks. I don't know the official pricing because they haven't released that information yet. But don't expect these devices to be expensive, and you're getting what you're paying for. However, if these phones do end up being under 150, I think they're definitely going to be packing in some value. So the first device I want to talk about is the Nuu Mobile X6. Now, this actually wasn't the first time that I've seen the X6, because way back at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, Spain in 2019, which was nearly a year ago, I did have a chance to check out an early prototype of the X6. And I did actually make a video of the phone at the show back then, but since then it looks like they have made some changes to the device. They've added an extra camera and made other modifications as well. So the variant of the Nuu Mobile X6 that I was able to check out at CES certainly seems a lot more production ready, if not completely ready to be sold. So the device features a 5.1-inch LCD display with a 19:9 aspect ratio. You are getting a water drop notch with this phone, so you're getting a very decent screen to body ratio as well. Then on the rear, you're getting a 13 megapixel camera with autofocus, and you're also getting a secondary VGA camera to assist with portrait mode. And then on the front, you're getting a 5 megapixel camera. The device is dual SIM. It features 3 gigabytes of RAM and comes with a MediaTek processor. Now, I'm not sure which processor it is. They didn't specify when I was at their booth. However, when I do eventually get my hands on the phone, I'll certainly be running the CPU-X application, so I know exactly what processor is in this phone. The Nuu Mobile X6 features 32 gigabytes of internal storage with microSD card expansion. Now, just like many of Nuu Mobile's devices in the past, this device does run a near stock version of Android with no bloatware, so that's excellent to see. And the phone is running Android 9 Pie. I'm not sure if it's going to launch with Pie or if it's going to launch with Android 10, but certainly I hope that we do get an update to Android 10 if it does happen to launch with Pie. The device does feature a fingerprint sensor on the back, and it features a 3.5mm headphone jack. We're getting a moderately sized 2,800 mAh internal battery, and that's about everything that I know about the phone. I know it's certainly supposed to have a very budget-centric price tag, and it does support voice over LTE, and I believe it also has support for Verizon. Now, don't quote me on that. I certainly plan on putting my Verizon SIM card in the device when I do receive it, which is one of several active SIM cards that I have. So once I'm able to review it, I'll know for sure which carriers it supports. Now, in addition to the Nuu Mobile X6, they also had the Nuu Mobile V1 at the booth too. So there's also another phone called the V2, which is similar to the V1, kind of an upgraded V1. They did not have that phone there though, unfortunately, but I'll talk about that in a second. But the Nuu Mobile V1 features a 5.5-inch display, which is LCD, at 720p. We're getting dual SIM support with the phone. We're getting just one camera on the back, which is 8 megapixels. And we're getting a 5 megapixel front-facing camera. We're also getting a water drop notch with this phone, just like the Nuu Mobile X6. It comes with 2 gigabytes of RAM and a currently unknown MediaTek processor. Again, just like the situation with the X6, I will be doing a deep test running the CPU X application to see exactly what processor the phone has. The Nuu Mobile V1 also features 16 gigabytes of internal storage with microSD card expansion. Now, the device features a near stock version of Android 10, which is fantastic. It has a pretty decently sized 3120 mAh battery, and the phone has voice over LTE support. And we're also getting a 3.5mm headphone jack, and we're getting a fingerprint sensor on the back. And then the last device is the Nuu Mobile V2. So like I mentioned, they did not have that device at their booth, so I did not have a chance to get any B-roll of that phone. But they did have a little booklet at the booth, and the V2 was mentioned in that booklet. So these are the specifications for the phone. So we're getting a 6.1-inch display, so a little bit larger of a display compared to the V1, and that display is LCD with 720p. We're getting a single 13-megapixel camera on the rear and a 5-megapixel front-facing camera. We're getting 3 gigabytes of RAM with an unknown MediaTek processor, and we're getting 32 gigabytes of internal storage with SD card expansion. So as you might have noticed, it does have better specifications than the V1. So essentially it's a improved version of the V1, so I'm sure it'll sell for a bit more. But that's everything that I know about the Nuu Mobile V2. So I'm really curious and excited to get my hands on these phones, to really check them out and to report back to all of you about my experience. And I definitely want to make a lot of videos about the phones on the channel. So I can't wait until they're launched. Now, I don't actually know when the launch date is going to be, so we'll have to see when that happens. Now, when I was at CES, I had a chance to meet a bunch of really awesome tech content creators, and hopefully they're all able to get these phones from Nuu Mobile as well, because it's always great to see other people's points of view regarding these various devices. But I'm just glad to see that Nuu Mobile is putting out new phones in 2020. Now, this space is getting very competitive. I'm sure you're well aware that Samsung really did some amazing things in 2019 with their A series of devices, and especially under $200, they had the A10, A10e, A10s, they had the A20 as well, and A20s. So there's certainly a lot of competition that Nuu Mobile is going up against, so hopefully these devices do have a way of standing out. Now, if they really do have Verizon support, that could be something that does set them apart. And I know that one of the things that Nuu Mobile is especially touting with these devices is that they support more US bands than your typical unlocked budget Android phone. But I'm really curious to know your thoughts about these devices. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and found it to be informative. I know that there's some other creators such as Josh Quiones that put out his own take on these phones. So certainly head over to his channel and check out his videos about these Nuu Mobile devices as well. But thanks again everyone for watching. This is Kevin here. Subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, follow me on social media and check out Nuu Mobile too to see what they're up to. But thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.